Hello, everybody. Eric here with some comic books, 2 weeks worth of comic books to be precise. There wasn't much that came in for me last week, and I didn't really have a chance to go to the shop. So I figured I'd just pick everything up this week. But we will start with what came out last week, which, as I said, was not a lot. And the first thing I have here on the pile is Ghost Lore number 4 from Boom Studios, Cullen Bunn book. Always a treat. Haven't started reading this yet, but I have been reading at least an hour every day, comic books. I'm slowly whittling away at the pile. And the other day, I had like 5 Cullen Bunn books in a row that I read, 4 or 5. But Ghost Lore, I'm going to get to this soonish. We'll see. Then we have another one I have not gotten to yet, but this is Danger Street, Book 8 from DC Comics Black Label. It's written by Tom King, who's very hit and miss for me, but this is supposed to have some of the stranger characters in it, so that's one of the reasons I picked it up. Plus, it's Black Label. One of the books I've been reading, since I've been reading an hour of comic books every day, is Human Target by Tom King. It's a DC Black Label. It started off strong, but I'm not feeling it at the moment, and I still have a few issues to go. We'll see how it pans out. All right, this book was not on my list. I was tricked, I say, into getting it. I happened to be watching their live video last week, and Eric of Comics Argo, Sheffield, Ohio, as he was going over all the new comics, said he thought this might be a one-shot. So I said, hey, would you mind pulling that for me, putting it in my file? Turns out it's a 6-issue miniseries. I could have put it back, but what the hell. This is the Enfield Gang Massacre. It's from Image Comics, and it's a prequel to That Texas Blood. I believe that I have That Texas Blood Volume 1. Almost certain I have that. This takes place, I don't know, 100 years before. More than 100 years. Ooh, look at those cool ads that they have in there. But this seems like, or I've heard that it's a really good book. So, hopefully, it lives up to the hype. And then finally, from last week, something I did order, Vampirella Carmella, number 17, black and white anthology horror magazine. It's fun stuff. I like this. Harkens back to the old days of Eerie and Shudder and Vampirella, excuse me, all that stuff. So that's all that came in last week. Basically 2 comics in a magazine. I added another comic. A little bit more this week. And that would be... Actually, I think maybe... I can't remember if this came in last week or... No, it's this week. All right, so... let's get to this. This week's books. A Legacy of Violence, number 8, from Mad Cave. Another one by Cullen Bunn. Another one I have not gotten to yet. But, as always, I love Cullen Bunn's work. I look forward to getting there. I'm only about 6 months behind now. We have a one-shot here. Chilling Adventures presents... What does it present? Strange Science from Archie Comics. I've mentioned it before. I always get these Chilling Adventures one-shots, little horror stories, fun stuff. Then we have Batman White Knight presents Generation Joker, Book 4. There's the back. I like that picture. Again, haven't gotten to it yet, but all of the Batman White Knight stuff that I've read, I've loved, and I have complete faith that this will be just as good. It's an alternate world Batman story. Queen of Swords, number 2, bursting from the pages of Barbaric from Vault Comics. Barbaric, very, very cool series. Fantasy Conan-ish with a twist. And again, have not read the first issue yet, but all the Barbaric stuff I've read has been really good, so high hopes for this one. The last of the floppies, Marvel Voices, X-Men number 1. Doesn't really clearly say that, but that's what it is. There's a big X on there. Anthology book featuring a bunch of X characters. I'm not sure. Usually the Marvel Voices will focus on the last one, or the one that I just read, actually, so it's older, was Marvel Voices Women? Or was it Women of Marvel? Crap. Anyway, they'll usually focus on Native Americans or indigenous peoples or people of color or, excuse me, LGBTQIA plus. So I'm not sure how X-Men is going to use that sort of diversity to tell stories in here. I haven't read the introduction yet, so. But I really dig these books. Lots of cool stories, lots of diverse voices. Plus, Magic's on the cover. I'm a big fan of that character. All right, and then a couple trade paperbacks. First, we have Hulk, Joe Fixit. And this is written by Peter David, great comic book writer. And it's Marvel has been doing a lot of these retro tales, for lack of a better way to put it. I've mentioned this before, I believe. And again, I think it was Peter David did 3 or 4 volumes of Spider-Man when he was in the black costume. And I think it's after he got rid of the Venom symbiote, but he just made himself a black costume for a while. I think that's when those stories are taking place. And then there's some others. I don't remember off the top of my head. This is the latest. So there was a time when the Hulk was gray and smart and a gangster in Las Vegas. And this is collects Joe Fixit 1 through 5, plus Incredible Hulk 347. So I don't know if that's the first Joe Fixit story. Why that particular. Yeah, it looks like it is. And so this is a story from that era when the Hulk was gray and working in Vegas. And then finally, we have Bunny Mask, The Hollow Inside. This is volume 2 of Bunny Mask. Contains Bunny Mask, The Hollow Inside, issues 1 through 4. And it's weird, horror, bizarre stuff. I have volume 1. This is volume 2. Obviously, I've said that twice already. Look at that great cover. Paul Tobin is the writer. Andrea Moody is the artist. And got some crazy stuff going on with Bunny Mask. Don't know what else to tell you, because I haven't read it, so I don't know anything about it, really. And that's it. That is what I picked up this week. 2 weeks worth of books. Not a lot. There have been weeks when this is half of what I picked up in 1 week, it feels like. So there you go. No question off the top of my head. So I'm looking through here to see if anything pops up. All right, I don't really have a specific question, so let's go generic. Do any of these books catch your eye? Which one of these, or which of these, would you be interested in reading? Let me know in the comments below. If you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put those in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post a spoiler warning and try to be polite here on my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe, all the usual YouTube stuff. If you care to follow me on other social media, my Twitter is @Ronan5757. My Instagram, where I post pictures of books, comic books, board games, and fuzzy animals, is Eric Smith 5757. And if you're on Blue Sky, I am at EL Smith. That's all I've got for you this week. So until next week, read more comic books.